Well, hi Bob, thank you very much for joining us. Always a pleasure to speak to you. Let's jump into it, shall we, and look at the week ahead. Now, are we expecting a busy week for the main currencies, US dollar, euro, and the pound?
Particularly busy week on the economic calendar for the majors. For the US dollar, we're going to be looking at consumer confidence figures in the early part of the week. That's on Tuesday. Focus will then shift to ADP non-farm employment change figures on Wednesday, ahead of initial jobless claims figures on Thursday, and all important non-farm payrolls and ISM non-manufacturing numbers on Friday. Following the July non-farm payrolls, another marked jump in hiring in August, and that could be the green light for the Fed. For the euro, also a particularly busy week. Early in the week, we've got French consumer spending, second quarter GDP numbers, and German unemployment figures. On Wednesday, the focus will then shift to manufacturing PMIs, finalized numbers from Germany and the Eurozone and France, and there's numbers from Italy and Spain as well. Barring any marked revisions, expect Italy and the Eurozone's numbers to be key. There's also German retail sales figures to consider. Focus will then shift to a busy Thursday and Friday. We've got, at the end of the week, the service sector PMIs, however, which will be the more important numbers to close things out for the euro. For the pound, it's a quiet week. Just finalised manufacturing and service PMIs. Obviously, with service sector activity key to the UK economy, any revisions to the services PMI will be more important.
Moving across to the commodity currencies, Bob, what should we expect to see there? Are we expecting a busy week?
For the commodity currencies, relatively busy week. Key stats for the Canadian dollar. We're going to be looking at GDP numbers for the second quarter, obviously particularly important for Bank of Canada monetary policy. And then we've got trade data late in the week that will also draw interest. Expect crude oil prices to also influence. It's been a choppy time. For the Aussie dollar, we have key stats, second quarter GDP numbers, and trade data. That's in the second half of the week. Those will be the main areas of focus. Obviously expect private sector PMIs to also influence. The numbers are from the Eurozone, the US, and so forth. For the Kiwi dollar, it's a quiet week. Key stat of the week is business confidence figures. That's on Tuesday. We're going to be looking for a pickup in business confidence to support the Kiwi dollar after the RBNZ stood pat on monetary policy.
And now, Bob, the Asian giants, the Japanese yen and the Chinese yuan, what should we expect to see there in the week ahead?
For the Japanese yen, relatively busy week. We've got retail sales, industrial production, and capex numbers in focus. Obviously, retail sales and industrial production are both key. None of these numbers are going to have a material impact on Bank of Japan monetary policy or the Japanese yen, however. Finalized private sector PMI numbers are also due out, manufacturing numbers on Wednesday and services on Friday. For the Chinese yuan, relatively busy week and an important one for the global financial markets. NBS private sector numbers due out early in the week. That's on Tuesday. We will expect the numbers to influence. The key stat, however, will be the Kaisen manufacturing number on Wednesday. Don't expect the services number on Friday to be ignored, however. Service sector activity in China has begun to contribute more to the economy.
And finally, Bob, as always, we finish with geopolitics. We expect this to be dominated by Afghanistan and COVID-19. Is that the case?
On the geopolitical risk front, I've been talking about it for a number of weeks now. Obviously, Afghanistan remains the key area of focus. You've got China and Russia that will be looking to meddle into there since the US withdrawal, and obviously the rest of the US allies. So that's going to be the key area of focus, and how will that impact relations with the US and the rest of the West? And will there be any ruffling of feathers to test the markets? Finally, on the COVID-19 front, we still continue to see the Delta variant as a key risk. Obviously, more importantly, will be the emergence of any other strains that could turn out to be resilient to vaccines. So that remains a downside risk for riskier assets, and the markets will need to consider these ongoing.
Well, Bob, as always, thank you so much for speaking with us. An absolute pleasure, and we'll speak to you again very soon indeed. And thank you everyone for watching. That's all for this edition of The Week Ahead with me and Bob. And don't forget to head over to our Dukascopy TV social media platforms to keep up to date with everything else affecting the markets. Until next time, goodbye.